All right, today we're pulling back the curtain on a place that's been called the hidden heart of Pakistan. We're talking about Mardan. For the longest time, if you mentioned Mardan, people would probably say, oh, that quiet, traditional town, kind of overshadowed by its bigger neighbors. But suddenly, it's everywhere. It's trending on social media, popping up in travel blogs, getting mentioned in economic reports. So what's the deal? Why the sudden buzz?
Well, to really get what's happening, you have to look at this fascinating mix of three things. Its incredible ancient history, a powerful, unwritten cultural code that really defines the people, and you guessed it, the ambition and energy of a brand new generation. It's this incredible collision of the old and the new.
Okay, so let's start with the one thing that literally put Mardan on the world map. We're talking about its magnificent throne of stone.
And here it is. This is Takht-i-Bahi. The name actually means throne of the water spring. Just look at it. Perched on a hilltop, this ancient Buddhist monastery is one of the best preserved pieces of the Gandhara civilization. Honestly, getting named a UNESCO World Heritage Site is what really anchored Mardan's identity on the global stage. And what's just mind-boggling is how long this place was a living, breathing center. It was founded way back in the 1st century, and it didn't just survive, it thrived for hundreds of years, especially under the Kushan kings. It wasn't until around the 7th century that people finally moved on, leaving this incredible architectural masterpiece behind. And get this, it's not just one building, it's this massive, sprawling complex. You've got the stupa court, right, where you can just imagine these huge religious ceremonies happening. Then you have the monastic chambers, basically the dorm rooms for the monks. There's also a temple complex and even a section with these small, dark cells, a bit spooky, that they think were used for tantric meditation. When you look at a site plan like this, you really start to get a sense of just how smart the design was. You can see how everything connects, the assembly halls, the courtyards, the shrines. I mean, it was a totally self-sufficient little world, all built with local stone, lime, and mud over 2,000 years ago. Just incredible. And this right here just says it all about the commitment to preserving this place. On the left, you're looking at a photo from the early excavations, around 1910. And on the right, that's the site today. You can literally see a century of painstaking restoration work that has kept this treasure alive for us to see. Okay, but Mardan is so much more than just these amazing ruins. To really understand the city and its people, we have to talk about the unwritten code that pretty much governs daily life here. We're talking about Pashtunwali. So Pashtunwali, it's not a law you'd find in a book. It's more like the way of the Pashtuns. It's this really deep-seated code of conduct that's guided Pashtun society for centuries. And right at the very heart of it all is this concept called Nong, which means honor. And that honor is tied to everything, your land, your wealth, and especially your family. This code pretty much rests on 3 main pillars. First up is Melmastia, which is all about radical hospitality. A Pashtun is honor-bound to welcome and protect any guest, no questions asked. Then there's Nunawatai, which is the duty to give asylum to anyone who asks for it, even an enemy. And then there's the most complicated one, Badal. This is the idea of justice, or, well, revenge, to restore balance if your honor has been insulted. And this quote from the great Pashtun poet Hani Khan, wow, it just captures the incredible weight of Badla. It speaks to this duty that's so deep it can trap families in cycles of violence for generations. It's a really tragic part of the culture, but it's absolutely essential to understanding the fabric of this region. Okay, so let's shift gears now. We've talked about ancient codes, but what's driving Mardan today? Because this isn't just a city of history, it's a city that's seriously on the move. All right, first things first. The foundation of Mardan's economy is its super fertile land. It is an absolute powerhouse for sugarcane and wheat. It's also a huge producer of tobacco and other crops. This agricultural backbone gives the whole region a really stable economic base to build on. But here's the thing. Agriculture is just one piece of the puzzle. Mardan is seeing this explosive growth in small and medium businesses. We're talking everything from textiles to e-commerce. And what's fueling this? Well, big infrastructure projects are connecting it to major highways, and, this is key, there's a growing pool of smart, educated graduates coming out of local universities. It's turning Mardan into a real economic hotspot. And speaking of that skilled workforce, that brings us to what is maybe the single most important reason why Mardan is trending right now. It's young people. Yeah, look at this number. More than 60% of the population is under 30.
That's not just a statistic, you guys. That is a demographic tidal wave that is completely reshaping the city's identity, its energy, and its entire future. And you can see it everywhere you look. There's this vibrant digital scene that's just flourishing. Young TikTok creators and vloggers showing off their city to the whole world. Cool, modern cafes and co-working spaces are popping up, becoming these new hubs for collaboration. This is the new Mardan, and it's being built, right now, by its use.
Okay, so let's tie this all together. We've looked at the ancient stones, the unwritten code, and the new generation. So what does it all mean for this city that everyone used to call quiet? You know, if you had to boil down the secret to Mardan's new buzz into just 3 words, it would have to be these: history, honor, and hustle. A deep respect for the past, a strong cultural foundation of honor, and the relentless modern hustle of its youth.
So at the end of the day, those old labels, simple, quiet, traditional, they just don't work anymore. Marston's rise is really about the rest of the world finally waking up to its new reality. This is a city that's dynamic, incredibly ambitious, and more connected than ever before.
And that leaves us with one last, really fascinating question to think about. As Mardan steps more and more into the global spotlight, it's facing this unique challenge, right? How does it balance its powerful, ancient traditions with its fast-paced, modern ambitions? Can its ancient soul be the compass for its future? Honestly, that's the story we're all going to be watching.